he says in a manner which is more contextually relevant.
He is always our inspiration.
It's definitely an honor for us.
मुझे इतने बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि वो आ रहे हैं हमारे कॉलेज में।
Namaskaram to everyone. I said namaskaram. I thought you're already not in talking terms with me. Haven't said a word yet. Well, why this Youth and Truth, how this came about is, in the last 37 years that I've been active with people, one constant refrain has been that people, thousands of people asking the same question. Sadguru, when I was 20, where were you? You came when I'm 60. If you had come when I was 20, I would have done so many things like this. So we thought we will step out and meet all those people who are below 25 years of age, because what we call as life is essentially a combination of a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy. Time is rolling away for all of us at the same pace. You sit, you stand, you work, you sleep, do whatever you want. Time is rolling away at the same pace for all of us. Time rolling away essentially means our life is rolling away. We can't help that, we can't stop it. You can't say, yesterday I did not do anything worthwhile, so I'm going to roll it back. There's no such thing. But we can manage the energy. So when we say youth, youth is that part of life where your energies are at their peak, most exuberant. Most youth do not understand this. They think this is going to be like that always. It's not going to be like that always. It's just this segment of life where your energies are at their best. When energies are at their best, people are confused to the core. Generally, I'm saying, not you. If only a little more clarity and balance can be brought to this exuberant sense of life energy which youth carry, I thought many things could happen. One of the most important things is, say every human being has a certain genius, not just in an art school, everywhere. But in my opinion, tell me if I'm wrong, maybe in art school the percentages may be different. I'm talking about the whole population. If you take, not even 1% of the human beings find an inner situation and an external ambience where their genius will blossom. Not even 1%. That's a poor humanity. If we could only in this generation raise it to 10%, let's say, we would have a phenomenal world. Because societies and nations have happened either as a phenomenal happening or a mediocre happening, depending upon how many people unfolded their genius at a certain time in that particular society. Without human intelligence finding a certain expression, whether it's business or politics or art or music, spirituality, none of them will really rise and flourish. So the most important thing about this is, When energies are at their peak, how much balance do we find within ourselves? How much clarity do we have? Clarity essentially means, or lack of clarity essentially means, that our own thoughts and emotions have become an impediment in our lives. For most human beings, this is the reality. At the age of 50, 60, they've still not figured out how to handle their thought. When are they going to figure it, I don't know. Suppose you bought a phone, after 3 years you still don't know how to use it. Are you a nutcase or no, I'm asking? Hello? You don't want to use it, that's a different thing. You want to use it, but you do not know which is front side, which is back side of the phone yet. Tragedy or no? This is the case with most human beings because of all the technology that you find, I see some third eyes rising. I know they are either these days Chinese eyes or Samsung eyes or some of them are American. I mean, the phones are rising. Among all the pieces of technology that we have produced in this world, among all the gadgets that we have made, phones, computers, supercomputers, don't you find, do you agree with me, that this is the most sophisticated machine on the planet? Hello? Have you read the user's manual? So somehow, by accident, handling it. If you handle by accident, anxiety is natural, isn't it? If you're doing something accidentally, let's say you're driving accidentally, isn't anxiety natural? And when you're driving accidentally, suppose the car starts going very fast, isn't fear natural? It started going very fast, isn't terror natural? The problem is not the car, the problem is not the speed, the problem is you're driving it accidentally. If you knew how to drive it, faster it goes, the better it is. Why is that not true with this one? If you know how to handle this, more things happen out of this, more exciting it should be, isn't it? If two things happen in people's mind, they go crazy. The world is being taught today, all over United States is popular for this right now. I think it's also reached Mumbai, after all you're on the west coast. I'm sure it's reached here also, everybody's going about telling you, be in the moment. Huh? They're telling you? You're trying. So, what does be in the moment mean? Well, please be somewhere else and show me. Can you? Can you be somewhere else right now? No. So what is the teaching about be in the moment? What they're telling you is, do not think about yesterday, do not think about tomorrow. It took millions of years of tremendous amount of evolutionary work to get your brains to this level of capability, yes? And now somebody is telling you don't use it. The beauty of this mind, the beauty of your intelligence is, you can remember every experience of life vividly. Otherwise, if you artists have amnesia, they don't remember a thing, they can't produce a thing, isn't it? Hello? The visual memory, isn't it vital? We can remember things vividly, every experience, every sight, every sound, everything that came to us through the five senses. And we have a fantastic sense of imagination. These are the two most fantastic faculties of being human, isn't it? Now they're telling you, do not think about the past, do not think about the future, be in the moment. Anyway, you're in the moment, you cannot go anywhere. Can you? Try please. Can you go somewhere else? No. So they're telling you, your memory and imagination, you must freeze it. The entire human experience is between these three dimensions. We have a vivid sense of memory. Memory not just what you remember. What you call as my body is just a repository of memory. There's evolutionary memory, there's genetic memory, there is karmic memory, articulate and inarticulate forms of memory. Entire human experience and human form is because of memory, isn't it so? If you eat dog food, do you think you will take the shape of a dog in 10 days? Hello? Because this one remembers, there's evolutionary memory in this, you do what you want, this remembers, this has to take only this form, isn't it? And this remembers million years ago how your forefathers were, has it forgotten? No. So this is memory, they're telling you, do not be conscious about that. And they're telling you, do not imagine a tomorrow. Why they're telling you this is, a whole lot of people do not know how to handle their memory and imagination, that's what they suffer most. What happened 10 years ago, they still suffer. What may happen day after tomorrow, they already suffer. They're not suffering life, they're essentially suffering their memory and their imagination. What they should be enjoying most, they're suffering. So somebody is saying, just be in the moment, do not remember, do not imagine. For this, there is a simpler solution. If we remove half your brain, you will be just in the moment. Yes, you will be really being in the moment. The nature of human mind is, you can be here absolutely involved and still think of 24 things. Yes or no? Possible or no? Because they have not read the user's manual, they're trying to operate the phone from the back cover. They think there is something wrong with this one. No, on this planet, this is the peak of evolution, isn't it? Hello? Some of you don't seem to agree. No, I'm not referring to you individually, I'm asking generally. Human beings are supposed to be the peak of evolution on this planet, isn't it so? So we have the greatest neurological system, we have a brain which is flowered into cerebral possibilities, but now we are suffering that one thing so much. Recently, about 4 or 5 months ago, you might have heard about this, it was all on the news. A television anchor from Hyderabad, anybody? Telugu people? Okay. A television anchor from Hyderabad, 34-year-old woman. A young woman jumped off the 5th floor and killed herself. And she left a note saying, nobody is responsible for my death, my brain is my enemy. The only reason we are a dominant life on this planet is simply because you got some brains, isn't it? Otherwise, you are not comparable to any other animal in their capabilities. You're not as strong as an elephant, not as fierce as a tiger, as capable as a buffalo either. Yes, they're all eco-friendly on top of it. The only reason why you're valuable is because of your intelligence, isn't it? But that is the biggest problem. The only thing human beings are suffering is their own intelligence. Yes or no? If you're alone and you suffer, obviously you're in bad company. No, yes or no? I am with you and I suffer, I can say it's because of her I'm suffering. But I'm alone and I'm suffering, bad company or no? So, we thought as a part of this Youth and Truth, we will reach out to the youth and bring as much clarity as possible. For this, you have to shoot your questions. Please.
Hello, sir. My question
I
to
have
you
not
is…
gotten any knighthood or anything yet.
I believe that art is anything that expresses who we are as individuals. What are your views on that? And how can one make the most of one's talent?
See, please. I'm not an artist and if I say something abrasive, please pardon me, okay? There are two ways to do any art, music, art, whatever expressions we make, even spiritual process or business or politics or anything that we do in the world. There are two ways to do it. One is, it is a stamp that we leave on the world. It's a footprint that we leave on the world. This… I was here. Another is, find expression not to myself, but to a larger life that's happening here, which is bigger than me, much bigger than me or you. Give an expression to that. Those who are intent on leaving a footprint, they shall never fly. So it's your choice whether you want to leave a footprint or you want to fly. That which flies leaves no trace of anything, but it flies. It's very different. So, if it's an expression of your individuality, you will leave a footprint. But if you become a conduit for something bigger, a phenomena that's happening here, then you leave no footprint, but you don't have to leave a footprint because you fly and it'll always be celebrated.